Hello and welcome to a 3v3 cast on Argus Desert Gate. Starting off at the bottom side of the map, we have FA Rewston, the flashiest git, playing as the Warboss. In mid we have FA Chaplain Ordie playing as the Chaos Lord, and on the top side of the map we have FA happystickman playing as the Kommando Nob. Moving on to the red side, we have Barn also playing as a Kommando Nob as well, up against happystickman, who is also the Kommando Nob. So Kommando Nob mirror up on the top side. In mid we have FA Aetherion playing as the Warp Spider Exarch. And finally, to finish off red team, we have DrTicklesMD playing as the Apothecary down in the bottom against the Warboss here. Going to be quite a tough matchup here for the Apo. Tanky heroes a bit of a struggle here for the Apo in the very first engagement, especially once he gets some of his war gear. I'm sure that he will be fine. Meanwhile, in mid, Chaos Lord going in a little bit too aggressively here, all alone by himself. A lot of piercing damage coming out from the Warp Spider and two Dire Avenger squads here, and the Chaos Lord is forced off very early, and that should allow Aetherion to actually just push through here against a single CSM squad and single Heretic squad. Meanwhile on top here, Sluggers look like they're almost going to get wiped here. There's one Slugger model that's able to get away here. The range damage from Sluggers is only 1 DPS, so you cannot really chase down units with your ranged weaponry here. But landing a special against the shooters here, I think they could have maybe tried to have committed a little bit further, but that Kommando Nob burst damage is going to be a bit too much here. And Barn is going to be able to force off happystickman while also wiping a shooter boy squad at the same time, which can lead to quite a snowball in a mirror match situation. But a second CSM squad in mid here for Chaplain Ordie will allow him to push back against these double Dire Avengers. Meanwhile in bottom here, it looks like Dr. Tickles is forced off that central contested power point. It looks like he wants to go in for a bit of a push here. Heretics forcing off the Banshees here. The double CSM should easily win this engagement, but one model going down very early on. Very unfortunate there for that one CSM squad, but the CSM should now force melee onto the Dire Avengers here, since they will be able to win the fight more decisively here, and will also prevent them from getting any model losses. But with the shooter boys in mid, the best thing to do is to just retreat away and come back into the fight when you are fresh and healthy. In bottom, shooters behind the green cover though. Tactical Marines trying to push forward. They should move to the left here, because I believe that is green cover here. The Warboss needs to get focused down while he is out in the open. Same for these Sluggers here, force off the melee, and then the Tactical Marines can push forward with the healing support here of the Apo. These Sluggers getting very low here. It's very risky for them to just walk up to Tactical Marines like this. The Apo still has his heal, does have full energy, which means his heal is off cooldown. That Warboss is also going to get forced off here. He's getting a little bit too low, and the Apo will be able to push forward with these Tactical Marines. Can just force melee onto these shooters here with his tacticals to make sure that the shooters cannot fight back whatsoever. Could even try and go into the scouts, although the scouts should probably stay back because they will go down fairly quickly to these double shooters here. Tactical Marines can always push up to the green cover behind those tank traps to try and force off the shooters from ranged. Meanwhile, up top, the Commando mirror match here. One Kommando Nob is about to go down here. Barn arming himself with some stick bombs. Could see this go down here, but the Sluggers going in a bit too far there. Going to go down to the enemy Sluggers here of happystickman, as the Sluggers decide to pursue even further now against the shooters. The big shooters using their ability to actually suppress these Slugger boys, unable to actually get a full surround onto the shooter boy squad, and the Sluggers will be forced off here. Banshees coming in for some friendly assistance for Aetherion, but some double CSM and Chaos Lord with a combi flamer here. Going to be a bit too much range damage for the entirety of red team's army for now, and they will be forced off. Banshees hiding behind some shot blockers here. Warp Spider going to try and go in here, but the Warp Spider will easily get forced off. I don't even know if he's behind green cover. I believe he is. Now he is, definitely. But he has already taken a little bit too much damage here. It is getting some upgrades here, but it's not going to be in time. Just Warp Spider needs to teleport away. We'll just go down on the spot. Banshee's going to be engaging. Need to back away here. Just lose a model. Lose 2 models, in fact, and we're unable to actually achieve anything because of it. It was not the best time to actually fight without a teammate when there are 2 people up on this top side. In mid though, Grenade Launch Heretics going to cap up the area. Dire Avengers are going to push and needs to be careful against these Grenade Launch. Needs to make sure they keep on the move. Otherwise they will take quite a lot of damage from these Grenade Launch, especially if they will pile behind some green cover. Then bomb Tactical Marines. Apo should push forward so these Tactical Marines actually have the healing bonus. Apo needs to stand a little bit closer so that these Tactical Marines have a higher health regeneration rate. Tactical Marines going to be backing away here though. ASM should be able to fight these Storm Boys. The APO needs to also go in as well. The APO without any heal whatsoever, these ASMs going to get forced off very early on, going to be losing a model here. These Tactical Marines will also need to fall back as well. And in fact the APO will need to just back away completely and may even need to give up this Generator farm if needed here. These Tactical Marines are going to get caught out by the Sluggers. They need to retreat around the wall here. The Sluggers are actually trying to focus down the APO instead and will be able to kill him as well. But in a fairly easy position here for Red Team to get a res on. Although Aetherian's Water Spider is dead at top, so it'll be up to the top commander Barn to actually come out and res both players, or to res one player so that the other player can go res the other. But both commanders are on Red Team's side, so it should be a fairly easy res here for Barn. For both commanders here, should be giving them plenty of experience points as well. Meanwhile, top though, Barn was just forced off though, as Chaplain Ordie does make his way there. The first player to tier 2 is going to be DrTicklesMD, not spending too much power in tier 1, in fact, only spending power on his ASMs and also some shotgun scouts as well at the same time. This quick tier 2 could give him the edge, but if he gets a fast Razorback out, but we will see. Double Dive is going to be pushing it from top. These Banshees are most definitely going to go down here. CSM even trying to force melee onto them. The CSM should probably just stop moving and just fire at range, but decide to carry on chasing. The CSM backing away though. They want to avoid that grenade, but the grenade was not going to hit anyway. Dire Avengers. The models are very split of heart right now. 4 models lacking behind that one lead model. Not that it really matters though in the situation. If CSM was still on the field, they could have meleeed down these Dire Avengers and got a model or 2 at the very least. Now the res here for Aetherion, but the Kommando Nob is going to get jumped on by some Sluggers with Hide the Boys on them. The stun bomb does go down. The Kommando Nob is not rezzing that Walt Spider while stunned. The Kommando Nob will be forced off. If he did start to try and get his friend back up in time, the stun bomb would have had no effect on him at all, and he would have been able to res the Walt Spider, bring him back to life, and then retreat away afterwards, while the Sluggers would still be stunned or would only just start attacking him by then. But DrTicklesMD, the first person to tier 2, decides to go for a Librarian first. I think a fast vehicle would have been better, would have had so much more impact in comparison to a Librarian. A fast Razorback and then into a Librarian could have been the better choice for him. A quick vehicle would have just allowed him to push against the power here of Chaplain Ordie. Or the power here of Blue Team, since it is a shared power, it's not just for one person. Double Dire Range is going to be making their way towards mid, putting down some NG shields here, going to try and hold the area. Meanwhile, up top, some looters are set up to prevent Red Team from pushing in, but some Hide the Boy Sluggers are in the area. There is a detector on the other team here for the happystickman, but the detector might not be close enough here. The Sluggers using their ranged weapons before they even get into melee combat here. That's a big mistake, and they will get caught out and may even go down here completely. They are so low right now, but the stun bomb is going to go down here to prevent the looters from firing here. When you infiltrate your units and you want to push up against something, you don't want to right click them, otherwise if they have ranged weapons such as the Slugs having the Slugger pistols, they will start firing them from maximum range, and that reveals your attack before it's even started properly. You want to try and just move behind the unit or just move to the unit and then you attack them when you are point blank range, otherwise the ranged weapons will give away your attack very early and your melee units can get focused down, just like what happened in that situation. Warboss and Chaos Lord going to be grouping up together here in mid as well, going to be trying to make a push for Red Team's natural VP, 396 VPs to 354. Librarian doesn't look like he has done too much so far, no experience on him whatsoever. That's why a fast Razorback may have been the better choice here, because Rewston is only starting to take up to tier 2 now. I know Chaplain Ordie is also tier 2 and both of them have grouped up together, and that Razorback would have forced Chaplain Ordie to actually come down the bottom to defend the natural power of Blue Team, and then the Librarian could have come out after that initial Razorback. But the Warboss here with the Angry Bits and Spiky Armor, so much health regeneration, he will not go down here on retreat no matter how much you focus him down. You can just see the insane health regen. With the Spiky Armor and with the Angry Bits ability used, gets over 10 health regen per second for quite some time. But now the fast Falcon coming out here for Aetherion, this Blood Crusher going in and it's lonesome, will actually struggle here. Decides to back away. The ASMs could consider getting a Melter Bomb to make the Falcon's job a little bit easier at taking down that Blood Crusher. But the VP has now been fully decapped here. I'm not actually sure what decapped it, or if it was not capped properly and just got forced off. But Dire Avenger's going for the push once again. Missile launcher, tactical marines going to be the AV choice here, but Barn coming down in mid, and also drop is going to come down as well here. Going to rain down some grenades, going to catch out a CSM squad. Not doing too much damage. This Orks though is a little bit caught out here against these sluggers, against these storm boys, and against the blood crusher. In fact, some of these units are friendly and some of these units are not. I'm getting them confused. These sluggers are friendly. I believe the Orks is somewhere in the field. I can actually see her just here. She's trying to chase down some shooters here with the ASM and Librarian. Falcon pushing forward. Death Dread versus Death Dread here. Barnes Death Dread currently unupgraded. Happy Stickman does have the burners, so he does actually have an extra 300 HP on this Death Dread. Burner upgrade providing both burner weaponry and also giving the extra 300 health, as makes it a very valuable upgrade for your Death Dread. Meanwhile, up top, Happy Stickman's taking the opportunity that Barn has gone down towards mid to actually try and bash the power and going for a very aggressive decap. But this Death Dread here for Barn making its way towards top here, going to be very effective at forcing off the squads. Kommando Nob stunning himself actually, and not actually stunning the enemy Kommando Nob here. Very unfortunate here for him. Does have stick bombs available, does have enough energy for him, but needs to try and get into range here. Does throw the... Oh, does throw a stun bomb now. Sorry, I got the stun bombs confused then between the players. The Barnes Kommando Nob going to go down here to some infiltrated sluggers here. Meanwhile, in mid, red team been able to actually push all the way forward. 386 VPs to 304. ASM going to go in for a very aggressive engage here. Librarian Smite needs to be focused on those CSM since it does do plasma damage, as more effective against heavy infantry. Didn't really like done too much there. The ASMs though getting a little bit overwhelmed here. Do not have their jump available, do not have enough energy for it because they use that Merciless Strike. That's going to be the cause of their death. Be very careful jumping in against two armies at the same time. This Librarian as well, really low, needs to retreat away now. Stormboy is going to be engaging here. Do have that Nob leader, so will stun upon landing on their jump, assuming they land on an enemy unit. Meanwhile, a truck on the field as well, going to allow Rewston to actually reinforce in the field. Also going to allow Chaplain Ordie to reinforce from that truck as well. The Falcon, if it keeps on reversing, it should be able to get away here. Stormboy is going to try and jump to finish it off. The Nob leader having heavy melee, very effective against vehicles, but unable to actually get any more hits onto that Falcon. Some more defensive grenades attempted here, but the defensive grenades have not done anything, or have not caused any damage. This Death Dread here with the burners here for Barn could try and go in for a very aggressive push here, but loses. Getting the Beamy Death Gun upgrade would be unwise to actually try and fight. Beamy Death Gun doing the highest damage per shot of all AEV weaponry in the game at 240 damage per shot. The only problem is it does not snare on hit compared to a Last Cannon, which other factions do have. Sluggers though look like they're going to go down in this engagement here for Barn. Very unfortunate for him. This Death Dread coming in as well for Barn, going in for a very aggressive flank, but there are tank busters in the area. Stick Bombers try to take out these tank busters at range here. This Death Dread does have plenty of tankiness left, but is down to just half health. Needs to start focusing down those tank busters. Bit of range damage coming in from the shooters and tactical marines, and these tank busters will be wiped completely. The Death Dread is now free to do what it wants, but Plague Marines are trying to come in from the horizon. Death Dread will need to start backing away here a little bit after fighting or trying to kill off any of these sluggers on retreat here. The Falcon is going to be pushing forward here, and again the Falcon will also need to be a little bit careful. But Death Dread with 195 HP will be able to tank another 2 more hits against these Plague Marines. But the Heretics and Plague Marines don't going to also get pushed back here as Red Team are able to hold the area. The Falcon is, well, remaining in the area. Tactical Marines going to be sitting up a little bit forward here, one with a missile launcher to counter any vehicles of Blue Team, although the only vehicle that they had was the War Truck, and that has already been taken out. Kommando Nob with the special shooter here. The shotgun blast doing an insane amount of damage, 115 rending damage compared to, say, the shotgun blast of a scout squad, which is only 7.5. 115 rending damage is enough to bring squads down to a quarter health, especially squads with high models, low health counts such as guardsmen, shooters, sluggers, etc. Warboss there with the Power Claw, going to be very annoying to actually fight. You also does need to be careful actually of the Power Claw. Power Claw weapons tend to do a lot of damage on hit. He also going in very aggressive though, may even go down. Plague Marines, if they focus her down with the damage over time, it is going to be enough to kill her, I think. Down to 1 HP, will go down to that damage over time. Very aggressive jump there from Aetherion, going to not pay off for him at all in that engagement. The Chaos Lord and Warboss decide to push forward. The Falcon is already about half health here, and Plague Marines still remain on the field and remain a massive threat. Librarian Spike combination with the Plasma Devastators to be very effective against those CSM plasma weaponry, extremely effective against heavy infantry here. The Warboss with the Angry Bits is going to charge in there. There's no suppression here for Red Team, so the Warboss is free to do what he wishes. If he focuses down that Librarian, he may be able to kill him. The Librarian is very low right now. The Warboss with that Power Claw could even one-shot him at this point. He's only down to 148 HP. The Warboss is deciding to not focus him down. The Apo should consider getting the Storm Bolter here, just to keep this Warboss in check. This Librarian is most definitely going to go down here. He's so vulnerable right now. Slugger's going to be engaging this Librarian here. The Librarian going in a little bit too far, and the Warboss decides to pick him up and just toss him aside, destroying some green cover in the process. The Chaos Lord trying to immolate some ground here, but not the most effective choice against heavy infantry. Sluggers for Barn barely escaping here, and the Warboss with Angry Bits becoming incredibly tanky. Or with not Angry Bits, but with Hardwares, and then using Angry Bits in the end there, but actually charges into some green cover and actually gets path blocked by it. Although even if he wasn't path blocked, I believe he would have still gone down in that engagement. Stun Bomb going down here, going to miss all the squads. They do dodge it in time. Nobs trying to be infiltrated here, but one model giving it away here, getting partially detected by the shooters. The entire squad now revealing themselves with their frenzy stance activated, taking no damage whatsoever and immune to suppression for 10 seconds. These P-Devs though, with the knockback, being very effective at trying to buy some time for that frenzy to end. And the Apo getting caught out there by the Sticklers. The Apo is actually getting the Storm Bolster right now, but the Apo could have gone down there to those Nobs. The Nobs definitely had the opportunity to kill him, but actually missed that opportunity here. And there's going to be a second or a new Orsak here for Aetherion. Previous one was upgraded with an Executioner weapon to boost her melee damage. This Orsak though currently still with her default Power Sword, which only does 35 DPS or Power Melee DPS. The Executioner doing 65 Power Melee DPS, I believe, making it a massive step up in damage. And getting the Executioner kind of needed on the Orsak. Her default weapon just really is a bit weak. But she is going to get caught out here. We need to retreat away, we need to jump away, or just straight up retreat away as Rewston starts to make his way down with his tier 1 army here. Missing the Storm Boys. He also has a looter tank out on the field as well. All players are now tier 3. Another looter tank coming out as well for Barn. Meanwhile, Chaos Predator here for Chaplain Ordie. And there's going to be a Land Raider Redeemer here for DrTicklesMD. So far the VP has been fairly even between both teams, 263 to 223. VPs have remained fairly close all game. The Falcon is showing rear armor here to that looter tank. This Falcon, though, it does have the energy shield and should provide enough tankiness to get all the way to Red Team's base or towards Red Team somewhere safe for these Dire Avengers to start repairing. The energy shield is a very annoying upgrade to actually fight against. Makes the Falcon quite hard to kill. If the Falcon is level 4, it makes it near impossible to even kill actually, because the energy shield is that massive, along with a high health and not health but energy regeneration rate, so you can have that shield on ready to go a lot of the time. The entangling web though onto that Chaos Lord, but the Imperial Abyss is going to be coming in here. Dr. Tickles should consider using Angels of Death here to actually try and protect his models and squads here. Doesn't lose any models retreating through. You really don't want to retreat through the Imperial Abyss though. It does do heavy melee damage, and as we know, melee does do extra damage upon retreat. So retreating through is one of the worst things you can do. You want to just calmly walk your units out of there as quickly as possible. You do not want to panic and retreat to your units, especially if you have something squishier such as guardsmen or shooters or anything like that. If you retreat through it, you're going to lose your squads completely. Same with the Noxious Cloud as the play champion as well, doing heavy melee damage. The Land Raider Redeemer is now out on the field here. Tactical Marines coming back onto the field once again. The Plasma Devastators are also here. Apo with that Storm Bolster should be able to control the Warboss in the next few engagements. Could always control the Kommando Nob if he gets in a little bit too close as well. The flank coming in, Barn sending in his unupgraded sluggers here. These sluggers really need to sit back. They are only here for repairs and need to make sure they stick to that role. The Chaos Predator has been upgraded to a Mark of Nurgle Predator, does have a small amount of health regeneration, also has melee resistance as well. Does lose a little bit of its speed and lose some of its AV damage, but is an extremely effective anti-infantry tank and very tanky as well. Does gain a lot of extra health at 1225 at just level 1, and with that health regeneration as well, it can be a very annoying vehicle to kill. It's similar-ish to a melee walker in a sense that it does actually have melee resistance, slow movement speed, but also with that health regen it can be very frustrating to kill, just like my Falcon with the energy shield really. Slug is going to be engaging here, but Orks is actually going to go down here, going to catch out some units on retreat. Very nicely done here. I believe all the squads are going to live here. Shooter boys are definitely going to live. I'm pretty sure something died though in this engagement. There is a dead shooter boy Nob there on the ground, so I'm going to assume that one shooter boy squad did die. The Kommando Nob with that missile launcher, such an effective source of AV, able to take down a looter tank here. Rewston actually down to just 3 squads now. Did have a looter tank, and it is now gone. Seer Council out for Aetherion. Seer Council doing 200 power melee DPS with that Wartuck doing power melee herself, and you're also being able to boost the damage here of that Seer Council with the Inspire, and also by leaping onto them as well as giving them extra speed and extra damage. I think it's 20% damage when you leap onto it. Allied squads. 192 VPs to 189 VPs are still incredibly close between both of these teams, but the Land Raider Redeemer pushing in. Red team making a very big push here against blue team. Red team are now overtaking blue team in terms of VPs. These Nobs need to be careful here. Only on 4 out of 5 models. If they have their frenzy, should be able to win against the Seer Council. In fact, the Nobs deciding to just retreat away straight away. Should lose a model though. The Seer Council being very unforgiving to actually retreat away from, given their chase potential. The Land Raider Redeemer, the side mounted flamers doing 40 courage damage per burst, I believe. Able to suppress that Warboss. The Frag Assault going to go down, going to split some units apart, but the Stormboy is able to jump in without any problems here. The Shotgun Blast is going to follow up their jump inside. Meanwhile, the Looter Tank is going to be fighting some ranged units here. Plasma Devastator is going to be fighting the Plague Marines. Meanwhile, that Warboss remains suppressed here. Melee is definitely not what you want against Land Raider Redeemer. You ideally want ranged sources of AV, because melee units will not be able to get close enough to this Land Raider Redeemer. It has so much to counter melee with the suppressing side flamers, and along with the Frag Assault as well to knock back a frontal assault against it. Death Thread still remaining alive here for Barn. Plasma Devastator is getting caught out there on some terrain. That Mark of Nurgle Predator is going to be so difficult to kill here. You know, double shooters versus double shooters. Some tank busts are going to get pops there by that looter tank. Flash gets on the field. Flash gets going to be extremely effective at countering these shooters. They do have insane range and also have insane amounts of damage as well. I believe it's 100 piercing DPS roughly as the entire squad together. Can always be upgraded with blasters as well. Very effective against heavy infantry and super heavy infantry, since it does do psychic damage. But in their current form, very effective against the infantry. Can outrange shooters, can outrange suppression squads, I believe, if they have, which they do have, their Git Finder upgrade. The Land Raider Warboss though, it is a triple cap here for red team. Blue team really needs to start motoring if they want to remain relevant in this game, because soon they will not be in this game anymore. 55 VPs, 52 VPs. That triple cap is incredibly painful here. Seer Council will be also going to try and fight these Nobs here. They already have some momentum with their huge hammers. The frenzy has now just run out here, and I'm not sure the Seer Council are going to be able to win this or even remain in this fight. Seer Council already down 1 member here. Nob's still in 4 members. That Orks is most definitely going to go down here. She is so low right now. The Nobs could turn and focus her with 1 more hammer swing. It would be enough here. In fact, she may even go down 2 range damage. Meanwhile, blue team pushing in here with the Land Raider Warboss. The Ork army is able to prevail through, and blue team able to secure their natural base. 11 VPs, 10 VPs, and they do not have another VP yet. Stop. Stickman is going to go in for the decap here. Meanwhile, double shooters and Slug's going to try and remain defensive here, but these Nobs going to dumpster all over these Sluggers here because they are unupgraded. They are just there for repairs. The Stickman was getting 1 model. They get the cap in time. 1 VP. And top is going to get forced off. Red team are forced off. Red team are losing everything right now. If you look at the UI, they are down quite a lot of the army. Dr. Tickles here with the largest army at the moment. He's going to lose his Land Raider Redeemer though. His Terminators are also getting caught out. It's only 1 VP here for blue team. Red team just needs to get a decap and have blue team lose 1 VP. They just need a small decap. Plasma Devastator is going to go down here. Everything is going down here for red team. And red team's army is looking absolutely minuscule in comparison here, but Kommando Nob is going to go in for the decap. The Warp Spider is also in the area, but he goes down before he's able to get close enough. And Kommando Nob is going to be able to get a decap here, but he is taking so much damage right now. Doesn't even get the decap in the end, and blue team still remain in a 2-to-1 cap here. But red team, with no army whatsoever, or a very small army in comparison, Aetherion down to just his Warp Spider alone. Dr. Tickles down to just double tactical marines here, with Terminators as well on the field somewhere. These Terminators not going to be able to do too much here against the massive army size right now of blue team. So many losses here for red team to try and end the game, and it's not been successful here as blue team has managed to survive with just a single VP, and that is all they need to remain in this game right now. Commando squad up on the top side here, but there is detection in the form of the shooter knob right here next to the VP. And the Commando is going to try and go in, but getting detected here and getting forced off. Aetherion says that he is going to phase them at top here. Commando is getting called in once again as well here for Barn. Going to be 2 Commando squads now. The enemy is phase shifted, could be followed up with an Eldritch. Is going to be followed up with an Eldritch in fact, but there are slugs in the area. In fact, these Commandos here are for happystickman instead. Commandos are a tier 3 detector unit, so they will be able to see each other. And red team are making their way all the way to top here. They have neutralized the top side VP, but blue team are going to follow up here. The Chaos Army of Chaplain Ordie is going to follow up. Meanwhile, happystickman here with a battle wagon here with the big shot is going to be so painful here, wiping a full health scout squad. Tactical Marines going to go in for a decap as well now. These shooters are going to get killed right, getting run over here. The Angels of Death is a brilliant idea here. And red team are able to get the cap, but at the same time, blue team still in this game here. They did actually get a decap onto the natural VP here. It's now a 2-to-1 cap for them again. Red team have put everything into this top side VP. They have been unable to actually do anything with it because they've lost their natural. And it looks like red team have conceded the game, unable to do anything because they have such a small army. Blue team with a massive army at one push, where they survived on 1 VP, sealed the deal for them in this game. And they will be able to make a massive comeback here, and will be able to force red team into a concede, even though they were on a single VP here, just because of how much stuff they had wiped against red team. Blue team are going to be the winners here today.